Welcome back to another episode of this quarterly podcast with a very special guest, Dave O'Flanagan, Chief Product Officer at Sitecore, which I'm sure the Sitecore community and our audience is already very familiar with. I'm also joined by Jason St-Cyr, Director of Developer Relations at Sitecore. In this episode, we're going to be discussing everything related to Sitecore, including the latest industry insights. So Jason, I'll hand it over to you for the first couple questions.
Thanks, Nicole. And thank you so much, Dave, for joining us again for another discussion. I had a lot of fun. I know our audience really enjoyed getting to hear a lot about what your career was like and how you got to where you are now. So it's great that we're going to be able today to kind of switch into more of like, what are you thinking about, or what's top of mind in the industry and stuff. Like, I know every couple of months, there's a new hype train that comes through and everybody tries to jump on board, right? What is it that's happening right now? Like, when you look out at what's happening in the DXP industry, what everyone's talking about, what are you excited about? Like, what's top of mind right now?
Well, look, firstly, it's great to be back talking with you both again. It's great to be here and get the opportunity just to kind of talk openly and I guess just have a discussion or a chat about what's happening in the industry and what we're trying to do here in Sitecore is a real privilege. So thanks for having me. On the hype train, I think we've all been hit by the LLM Gen AI hype train. Everywhere you turn now on Twitter or on social media, there's some new expert telling you 10 things about you didn't know about prompts, and stop using AI like a beginner and read my blog or listen to my Twitter thread. But I think it is an important evolution or emerging technology in our space that I think could have profound impacts on how we work. It's when you look at some of the things that have happened recently, there was the metaverse, kind of a lot of buzz about the metaverse, and I think actually just on that point, I think with the new Apple tech, we might see a more measured, pragmatic step into that world, and maybe adoption in that space might happen a little different than we originally thought. But it's interesting, the technology that's emerged there. But I think the hype around metaverse and the rebrand of Meta and all of that happened maybe 18 months ago, you could see that die down. I think there was the crypto thing as well that happened for a while. That's really died down. I think I saw a stat recently about the level of investment has gone from, I think, 21 billion in 22 to almost nothing in 23. So I think, the trends have emerged and fallen away. I think this one is interesting because although we've seen it emerge with the advent of ChatGPT over the last 6 months, this AI, LLM story has been building for quite a while, and I think people have seen, who've been following this, they've been looking at GPT-2 and 3. I think with the emergence of GPT-3, the large language model from OpenAI, I think we saw a lot of the first kind of flourish of startups in that space doing things like content generation and image generation or image manipulation. And I think ChatGPT has kind of brought it to the general consciousness, which has really unleashed the hype. But I do think there's something really sustainable. I think somebody told me, I was talking to an analyst recently, he phrased it as, I think we're seeing the end of the beginning of AI, which is like, I think we're now going to enter a new world where I think this AI is going to be expected to be embedded in our products and in how we do business and in how we live our lives. And certainly that's a big topic here in Sitecore. We're working on some products in that space. So that's something that we can talk about on in a few minutes. But in terms of the hype train, AI, LLMs is huge. Other topics though are certainly top of mind for our customers and for us in Sitecore. One is, running an efficient business in Sitecore and making sure that our customers can run efficient businesses using technology like Sitecore. And it's a really, really important evolution and very much aligned with our strategy as we moved away from our monolithic architecture to our composable strategy, which rather than having to buy the whole product and eat it all in one go, we can be a lot more granular and fine-tuned about the types of capabilities we can offer to customers, so customers can choose to buy some or all of our products as they need them. And so that's very much in line with how customers are thinking about, tightening budgets and understanding softening demands and the kind of macroeconomic climate. I think our new composable offering really meets the needs of how our customers, not just the digital technologists or the CMO is thinking, but how the CFO is thinking as well. And very much in line with that, a lot of our customers are looking to reduce hosting costs and improve, sweat the assets that they've bought. And certainly as we think about some of the customers that have recently transitioned from XM, our enterprise CMS, to XM Cloud, our new completely SaaS CMS, they're seeing unrivaled cost benefits in this regard as well. So it's really an exciting time. I think a lot of our strategic bets we've made over the last 2 years are coming to fruition and are really aligned with how the market is moving. And for me, when I think about the emergence of the LLM world, it's not that Sitecore is going to go out there and build these foundational models, but not yet anyway, we're investing in fine-tuning models, but over time we may get a little deeper in terms of providing more and more proprietary capabilities. But where we see the opportunity for Sitecore now is how do we tap into these capabilities that are being developed by Microsoft and OpenAI and Google, and then with our composable architecture we can plug them together quite quickly, so we and our customers can create proprietary differentiated capabilities using these new emerging technologies. So it's really exciting. It feels like a lot has happened since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, I mean, AI has always been a topic at Sitecore over a lot, especially in the machine learning side for the last couple of years, right? And it was interesting to hear you say, it's the end of the beginning, right? It's like a couple of years back, it's like everybody was like, oh, we got to get AI or ML into everything, and then that hype train kind of went down. But I think we started investing in that world. And when you talk about how things change so much, but we're investing in the strategy forward, it's strange to think, it's been 2 or 3 years now in the work for us to tell people that this is where you need to be. And now people are coming around and getting it. It's interesting to when we think what's 2-3 years from now going to be like, with all the hype that's now, that it's going to change, but 2-3 years from now it might be very different. And you talked a little bit about how at Sitecore we have this kind of future with looking at how we embed these types of things into our products. I know you talked a little bit about this at our Sitecore DX events, and I know Sitecore had to make a statement about generative AI like this. We have to have a position. So can you talk to our listeners a little bit about what do you see that future being like when we look down the road? What is it like to be working with Sitecore products with this kind of AI world and ML and LLMs all mixed in?
I think the first thing, and you brought that up just at the start of what you spoke about there, is that Sitecore has a tremendous amount of kind of machine learning capabilities already embedded in its products, and actually we've been using LLMs from Google for many years in our search product and our Discover product in our product discovery. So we're familiar with the technology, we're comfortable with the technology. And with these new emerging models, we feel well equipped to be able to plug these in and get value from them very, very quickly across our portfolio. So I think as you kind of wind the clocks forward and see, what are we doing now? I think we could look at it specifically across the different clouds that Sitecore have on our Composable DXP. In the Content Cloud, we're adding the ability to generate content. And generate imagery and also be able to summarize content and understand content, and then do the same with manipulation of imagery, like in painting and out painting and things like that. So I see there's a huge amount of opportunities to improve the efficiency of working with our platform, get things done quicker. I'm not sure we're at a point where the content can be auto-generated on the fly all the time, but I do think right now we're at a point where we can fast track the initial draft or fast track the first version of the image really quickly, and then give it to a professional, like a designer for an image, or a marketer or campaign manager for the content, and allow them to tweak it from there. So dramatically compressing the time to creation or delivery of the content online. We're seeing a huge amount of innovation in being able to auto-generate images or doing brand safe generation of imagery, and Sitecore is in the process of partnering with a number of companies in this space to enable that capability in our portfolio in the Content Cloud. So I think kind of right now we can see a huge opportunity just to improve the content generation in the platform really, really quickly in the Content Cloud. On the engagement cloud, we've already added dynamic AI powered segmentation, so we can discover segments on behalf of the marketer in our engagement cloud. We have the ability to do add more AI capabilities to the analytics, and we're thinking about adding AI capabilities to the data management piece. So being able to really build out and enhance our data management, the CDP, using some of these new AI technologies. So there's a huge amount of scope in each of the clouds, and in the commerce cloud, obviously everything related to the product and the product recommendation, something that we've got deep expertise leveraging LLMs today. We're looking at, we've just kind of introduced the first version of our question and answer capability. So you have a much more natural conversation and get back content and product recommendations really quickly using our search and our commerce capabilities. So there's a huge amount to do. I think the key thing, though, to remember is that, you know, we shouldn't get too fascinated by the tech, right? There's lots and lots of cool stuff you can do. And maybe one of the challenges I thought in the last iteration of AI, where we were starting to, there was a lot of buzz, and I think all of the companies had their own branded version of the AI. I think what we found was that the utility of the AI had diminishing returns, you know, so it never quite got fully operationalized. So you could deploy, I guess, an AI-powered personalization quite quickly, but it still required some maintenance over time. And maybe over time that the utility or the effectiveness of that wasn't quite where people thought it would be, and they just reverted to doing things in a more manual way or AI manual way. So I think with this iteration of AI, I see the AI getting much more embedded in operational flows. So the example I gave around, you know, be able to seed content, create your first iteration of a blog with the first image and the first piece of content, that's something that I'm using day to day. Like if I'm doing a LinkedIn post or a Twitter post now, generally I'll lean on ChatGPT to give me some indication of what that first draft could be. And I think everybody is working like that at the moment. So it's a tremendous time to be in this industry. And I think a lot of the open AI capabilities are particularly applicable in our space, in the DXP space. I think as we look forward beyond where we are now, I think this idea of having your kind of AI co-pilot and being able to allow that co-pilot to help you do work better or do work faster, I think is something that, from a strategic perspective and how we're thinking about evolving our portfolio, we're going to see more and more of that emerge right across the portfolio. This kind of Sitecore co-pilot helping you get work done faster in the application.
It's like the digital assistant, or like Microsoft Clippy.
Clippy.
I see you would like to generate new content. Can I help you with that?
if we wait long enough, Clippy's coming back. Yeah.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, the nostalgia is just waiting there. I know you mentioned people are working like that. I was just working on something where I wanted to build a web page out. I wanted to be for a certain audience. I'm like, I know what I want to say. I want to say, like, here's how you get help. But that's not the right way to word it for that people. So I go ask ChatGPT, and they give, here's 10 ways you could do that. This fits more for like a digital marketing audience. I like number 4, change a couple words in there. I'm good. And I think that flow is really helpful from an efficiency perspective, especially for someone like me who is not like a professional like Nicole in digital marketing, right? Where now I can go and give that to someone else, like a product marketer or a digital marketer, and they can go, okay, well, nice try, Jason. But here's how we take it even further. But at least I can get that first draft done.
Yeah.
And it's interesting also when you say about these clouds, and you talked about these different opportunities in different clouds. That's something that's different when we move to Composable now, because before it was like, we have this product, this is what we will do. And now it's like, well, no, each product has a different opportunity. We have a different way, a different workflow that could be optimized. And I know anybody who follows me has been seeing my migration to Composable stuff. So a lot of our existing customers, they're looking at this Composable stuff and they're trying to make a call, right? Do I go where all this innovation is happening? Do I migrate over? But we also have the platform option that's still there. Do I stay on that? Like, but which way we go? And I know I'm probably misquoting you here. I think it was at SubCon, you said something like, the future is composable and the future is now, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Right. So I know there's a lot of work that has to happen. And I think what I really loved was at SubCon, you talked about how Sitecore needs to do more to make it so people can do that. What do you think are the things that the next big steps that we should be doing? How do we help bring people to this cloud vision, this future that we're building?
Yeah, Composable has, I think, addressed many of the key concerns that people have about over investing in monolithic architectures or being locked too deeply into a single vendor and not being able to avail of new innovations that emerge quite quickly. OpenAI or LLMs being a good example. How can I plug that quickly into my tech stack so I can start getting some value from it? So that's great, and the idea of that has been great. But actually, evolving from there's very, very, very few, almost no projects that are greenfield anymore. Everybody has an established web presence, particularly any brand of significant scale. They've already invested in a marketing stack, a tech stack, a CX stack, and so everybody has the same question: how do I get from where I am to where I know I want to be? And what you guys are telling me in Sitecore is awesome. I want to be there, but I've got a huge investment, and not just technology, but my people are trained to use the technology that they have today. I've built up these processes to be able to manage hundreds or thousands of websites, and it works really effectively. And I've got this technology that I've got technologists that are deep experts in that space and are comfortable using that technology. And but everybody knows that the future is cloud and the future is composable, and they want to get there. And so one of the things we've been thinking a lot about, and we've heard a lot, to be honest, we've heard a lot from our customers and our partners, is that Sitecore, give me more advice on how to get there. How should I think about the next step? I know I want to climb the mountain, but I've got to take those first few steps out of base camp first. And I think that being able to kind of guide our customers, I think I always use the analogy of climbing the mountain. I'm calling Sitecore the Sherpa, but I do think it's a very good analogy in that I think we want to spend more time with our customers and our partners, helping them lay out like a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year roadmap to evolve their capability to be where they want to be over a period of time. And everybody wants to be cloud tomorrow, and everybody wants to avail of the latest technology and introduce all these efficiencies. But the reality is, for a lot of our customers who are large, global, very, very large brands, it's going to take time for them to evolve their stack. And I think us being able to sit with them and go, you know what, right now we need to, maybe you've just upgraded your CMS, or you've just got a new web presence. Maybe it's not the right time to do CMS, but you might want to look at other capabilities like CDP or personalize or search. Or, you know what, maybe we can do a lift and shift of where you are right now and make that cost effective in terms of a business proposal. Because if you do the lift and shift of that website, the design and the end user interaction might not change, but under the hood, you've got a brand new, really fast, really, really, really effective, really cost effective platform that means your internal staff can be more productive and your hosting costs come down. Then the business case for the lift and shift might make a ton of sense for you as a business right now, particularly if you're looking at being more cost efficient. So I think we haven't probably spent enough time on that side of the house. We've built a wonderful product. We've designed the future, I think, with Composable. We've made it very accessible with our technology decisions. I think what we need to focus on now is helping customers and advising customers and being that Sherpa for the customer to help them guide them on their journey to the future.
Yeah, because continuing the Sherpa analogy, right? It's like the hero of the climb is the person making the climb, but if they don't have someone there who's experienced and knows, here's the right path to go, don't go that way or you're not making it to the top. We've got to get there. And I guess there is a gap that's there where the actual path to there. We've got the destination. You can see the summit.
100%. And actually, it's kind of, to keep going with the analogy, it's a team that helps that person to the top of the summit. And we've been creating new teams in Sitecore and new capabilities in Sitecore to support that journey. We've recently introduced Sitecore 360, which is our new services offering. It's kind of a white glove services offering that provides consultancy and support, very, very specific support for customers going on these journeys, and customers can avail of that service from Sitecore. We've recently stood up a new organization in Sitecore to do partner advisory. So it's all about helping our partners understand how they transform. So maybe a partner traditionally was their business was focused on Sitecore implementations or installations or upgrades. We want to evolve them and make them every bit as productive and every bit as successful in the new world, where the work may have changed, but the scope of work is probably similar for the partner. And we want to make sure that the partner is sufficiently confident and equipped so that they can advise our customers on best ways, best practice to be able to do that. And one of the things that I think Sitecore traditionally has been quite hesitant to do is recommend a blueprint or a best practice in terms of how you should do something. But I think for us to really scale this and make it as cost effective and as risk-free or as risk-light as possible, what we want to do is help our partners understand this is the best way to implement XM Cloud. This is the best way to migrate from where you are to XM Cloud, even if you got a very proprietary installation of XM or XP today. And I think by making this a lot more cookie cutter, we don't want to stop customers innovating or building proprietary capabilities, but the core of the implementation, if we can make that replicate that as much as possible for all of our customers using across multiple partners, I think we'll see a lot more customers being able to migrate much, much quicker because the learning will just compound.
That is awesome. Now, I know it's been great having you on, Fred, but I realize we also want to get your thoughts on some of the community things. And I know, Nicole, you had some questions that you wanted to have for Dave as well.
I do have some questions. I can finally speak now. No. So Dave, I know that you are a lifelong learner. Can you tell us a bit about what you're learning right now? This can be anything. It doesn't have to be related to the industry necessarily.
Yeah, I think, I'm spending a lot of time on AI and LLMs. I think I've subscribed to half these services on the internet. Anywhere you see my handle, Dave OF, it's me. So, but I think at the moment, I'm just spending a lot of time going deep on some of these topics because I think it's important. I think it's important for Sitecore. I think it's important for me as the chief product officer, and I think it's important for my career more generally that this is a topic that is not going away, and it's going to be core to building technology products for the next while. That's something that that's been top of mind for me for the last while, and I've been spending a lot of time doing that. It's the end of a lot of the sports season, so maybe I'm not reading as much. I'm watching more sport. My team, Man United, got beaten by Man City. My son supports Man City, so it was a family affair in the FA Cup on at the weekend. So that was disappointing. But and then I'm actually weirdly I live in Ireland, but as I said the last time, I'm a big basketball fan, so I'm watching the NBA finals with great excitement at the moment. So I'm staying up a little too late over here in Europe watching some of those.
Awesome. Well, just before we wrap it up and say goodbye, I am going to bring it back to the community. And I guess, is there anything you would like to say to the community, a message, something that maybe you want them to look into or even challenge us on?
Yeah, look, I think one of the reasons I was so keen to do this with you guys was that I do want to make sure that we remain connected with the community, and we want to hear from everybody personally, like individually. Tell me what we can do. How do we evolve? Challenge us. Are we missing something? Like one of the kind of drivers actually around the Sherpa concept, and really spending more time. And Jason's producing content at a fantastic rate. I don't know if it's Jason or ChatGPT, but he's producing content at a fantastic rate about XM Cloud and how do we upgrade and how do you get the most value from it and what the right architectures are. But that part of that initiative was based on feedback from the community, right? So we really do want to hear from everybody and tell us what we're doing well and tell us what we can improve. For me, building a great product is me. It means being kind of 80% listening and 20% telling, right? So I think being able to listen to what the community wants, how the community wants it, how our users are using it, how our customers are using it, I think is incredibly important. And we've released a lot of products over the last while. We've kind of dramatically shifted our strategy. I think we're future proofed in that regard, and I think we've got a very exciting future ahead. But part of being future proofed is evolving each of these products now in line with what we're hearing from the community and what we're hearing from our customers and partners. So that's a really, really, really important thing I wanted to say to everybody. I think the second thing is, so do challenge us, tell us to be better, right? And I think that the second thing is tell us how you're getting on with things. One of the things I've been really, really excited about was just the crazy amount of YouTube videos and LinkedIn posts I've seen about a lot of the MVPs bringing LLMs and OpenAI into our tech stack. Nobody ever talked to us. They just took our APIs and our products and they came up with some idea and created some really, really cool and innovative things. So like, what I see is that I think the community is starting to adapt the composable mindset, which is awesome. But what we want to do is we want to make it easier and better and faster and quicker. And so again, as you think about the things you're building, do get out there and build more. We're keen to support you in any way we can, and keen to get feedback on your experiences doing that. So that's really important. And I guess last but not least, don't miss some of the upcoming subcons. There's going to be one in India, I think, in August. That's going to be awesome. North America a little bit later this year. We're still kind of penciling the dates in there, and hopefully down in ANZ as well. So would love to see you guys. I'm hoping to get to some of those as well. So would love to see everybody attend and contribute and engage and kind of stay connected with the community. There's so much happening. Those events are a great opportunity to learn a lot more about where we're going and why, and connect with your peers in the community. So it would be great to see some of you people there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great way to end this episode. And honestly, if I can just say, like, the Sitecore community is really like no other. The passion and the knowledge that they have and how they share knowledge, like you're saying, on YouTube, blog posts, all different ways, user groups, online and offline. It's really amazing, and it is like no other. And the three of us have had the opportunity to attend subcons, and we see that passion from individuals from all different backgrounds all over the world, from even competing companies coming together and sharing knowledge, educating one another, networking, and just, sharing their passion. So it's amazing. So Dave, on that note, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because we know you're a busy guy, to sit down with Jason St-Cyr and I. We really appreciate it. I think both of us have learned a lot, and individuals in the community, or the audience, are going to learn a lot from this episode as well. Thank you for bringing that energy and that presence here to us today, and all your knowledge. We always learn something from you. So thank you. And hopefully I will connect with you at a subcon this year, and if not, in the next quarterly episode. So
thanks for having me. It was really great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.